This is called the Parasite Eve bonus grind to shine. So, as we left off last week, we were level 28, essentially. We had just failed to get to level 50 by being defeated by the cockroach monster on the 50th floor. Made it through 30 to 40 fine, 40 to 50 we died. As you can see, we need like 5,000, we have bonus points 28, right? So, I thought to myself, how about this? I need to go grind BP, because I'm worried that even with the way that things are going, I need 400. That dare cockroach, yeah. So I need 400 attack, and I need about 200 defense, right? Well, the BP I've got right now, obviously it's not anything. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the gun up to 400 attack. The darn cockroach. Oh, okay. I thought that was a European thing. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go grind. So my first thought was, I'll go over to Chinatown sewers, if only. I'll go to Chinatown sewers, and I'll go into the sewers and grind stuff down there. But when I went over there, nothing was spawning. The no combats would spawn whatsoever. I don't know why. The only thing I could get to spawn, kind of, were the two mutated cats in the like road leading to the sewers. I'm like, well, that's not gonna work because that's one enemy basically, or two enemies. The BP is gonna be terrible. And I'm like, all right, so I'll go to the Central Park back at the beginning. No combat encounters, none. None of them would spawn, not at all. Wouldn't happen. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the hospital. Lots of giant amoeba squads would show up there of like 5. Went to the hospital. No combat encounters whatsoever were happening. I'm like, well, that's weird because I swear I could grind in these old locations. I'm like, well, it's fine. I'll go to the museum. It'll be a lot of XP, but we'll also be fighting lots of large groups of stuff, like 3 to 5 things at a time. And on top of that, as you can see, I'm 37, 59,000 to get to the next level, and we have gotten all the way up to 9,000 bonus points, which is fantastic. But the iguanas here also drop junk, so I can also collect the junk while I'm grinding to unlock the super weapons from the junk collection side quest. I'm like, perfect, this will be great. Now, I discovered something. So you just see how we needed like 54,000 or 59,000 XP to level up there. Well, something happens between 37 and 38. And I'd like to show it to you right now. So here's our combat, right? 37, we're 984. And basically each combat, I've been getting about 3,000 XP. If I can get it, and watch as this is the grind I've been going through. Again, the spawn point for this, right about here. That's where the combat encounter will start if it's going to happen. In this other room, it's basically one step into the room. Like right here, the combat will encounter. If it doesn't happen then, it's not going to happen in this room. And in order to grind these levels, this is what I've been doing, is just running back and forth. One room to the next, just back and forth until a combat encounter happens. It does work out because I'm fighting like 5 things at a time. I'm also getting the junk, and the XP is solid. It's still getting like 3,000 XP a level, or a combat. I'm thinking, okay, this will work. I'll keep grinding this, get the BP between each one, and the XP requirement per level will keep going up. So it's 59,000 at like 57, 58 will be, you know, I don't know, 62,000, and it'll just keep going up like that, and eventually, you know, I'll get up to like 400,000 when I'm level, I don't know, 60 or whatever. But let me show you what happens between 37 and 38 that completely messed up my grind for BP. If I can get a combat encounter to happen. Keep in mind that this is what I put up with the whole time I grinded through this, all right? I basically devoted last Friday to doing this grind to get this built up. Yeah, I sat here for about probably about 7 hours Friday doing this in the office. Just room to room until combat encounters would happen. Sometimes I'd get lucky and it'd be like one would happen here, one would happen over there. Sometimes I'd get unlucky and I'd have something like this where just nothing happens. Now there's no way, as far as I am aware, to manipulate how often the combats happen. And if you go back and watch the first half of this for people on the Twitch, you'll see that it actually happened faster that time than this time. So here's the combat, right? No iguanas on this one, but still 3 enemies, which means we'll get good BP. Boom, perfect, right? So we'll get our 3000 XP and we'll go up to level 38. Now watch what happens with this. Next level is 1200. 37 required 59,000. Why is it saying that the next level is only 1200? I assumed when I saw that was an error or something, or I was misunderstanding what it meant. So we level up. We got our 3,000 bonus points from, 57 to 58 for all the fighting for the 59,000 I needed. And I thought that was going to continue. We get ammo, whatever, that's great. We don't need a ton of ammo. We mostly just need junk for the collection purposes, right? So I go in here and I look at this. I'm like, wait, it's saying that the next level is only 1,200 away? That doesn't make any sense. Is that correct? So I start doing a little bit of, I go in here and I do another try to get another combat going to see what happens, assuming that this is an error or something, when I get more XP. Like, am I gonna level up right away, just instantly? That seems odd. And this is gonna turn out to be sort of an issue if that's the case, because the only bonus points I get are between the combats between levels. So if I'm leveling up after every other combat, I'm not gathering bonus points, which is what I need. So I'm like, well, I hope that's not the case. Let me test this out. Ooh, more dinosaurs. So boom, we'll get our 4,000, and we just leveled up again, and we got 40 BP. But I thought this would be an error unless the developers didn't think enemy would reach that high. It's only level 37 to 38. So we got 40 bonus points, which is not even enough for one bonus on that level, because now I'm leveling up after basically every fight. So I thought to myself, well, that's not great, but we've already got 12,000, and I've got like 60 levels to go until I hit 99, which I don't even know if that's the level cap, but I assume it probably is, right? So I'm like, well, we can keep going with it, and that'll probably work out all right. I'll grind up to see what that looks like. So then what I did is we got here, and now you see we're maxed out on level. We're level 99. This is the highest level you can get. Next level, 0. We can't get higher than 99. I have 164,000, or I'm sorry, 16,000 BP. We continue the junk grind, as you can see here. Yeah, I put a lot of work in. We're up to 16 hours in from like the what, 7 or whatever, what was it, like 12 I had? So there's like the 4.5 hours right there that I've put in. But I thought, well, if I throw all that BP onto this, how high do we get? A lot, just putting it lightly. We're stay around for this whole presentation. It's gonna get worse. So I'm like, okay, we get up to 351. We can get to 351, and then maybe I can steal with tools bonuses from other guns, and we can use maybe like the super weapon. Maybe with the worse, yeah. So with the super weapon, from the junk stuff, I can, I think that'll make the difference. So let me see. Now, I believe I need to go. Oh, no. This is the right one. This is the right one. So we have the junk, right? So we'll turn the junk in and watch. This is in real time. This is in real time. We'll be turning the junk in. Discard junk. That's real time. Each of the 40 junk we have in our inventory. Wayne, I got quite a bit of junk parts now. It is a little rhythmic, you're not wrong. I could probably whip up a whole gun from them. So what's your favorite, AFRed? Now, we've determined that we're going to go with the submachine gun, but you could use handgun, shotgun, whatever, and then you can leave it to Wayne. What I discovered, Advanced Lamp, is that when you leave it to Wayne, you have a list that he can choose from of random guns and 2 errors that he just wastes all the parts. So I clicked on the, obviously we just save stated, right? So if we click on this, he should choose randomly from the list and get whatever it is he's going to get. And so I wanted to test, this is a good one. So he gives us the gun, and it's an SP-1C, which is a pistol. That's fine. Okay, so I wanted to try something else. I wanted to see what happens if you turn it in again. Like, when is the deciding factor on the junk thing? And as you can see, I just loaded the state, right? Save stated, loaded back in. So nothing should have changed in the file's layout. It should all be essentially the same. So we turn the junk in again, right? We click it again, and this will show what happens. And this is, to me, with this little mod dance I like. This is a good one. You can count on this. We got, this time, instead, we got the AK-47, which is an assault rifle. So what that means is that the randomization effect takes place when you select the item, you select, or, at that point in that menu, when you select leave it to Wayne is when that randomization happens, which is fine. And this is arguably like one of the best this is like the best non-rocket launcher weapon in the module. Between the crit up and the return fire and the highest damage, 155, and the really high range, and the bullet count is fine. That's not the one we're going for. What we're going for is we need the submachine gun one. So we'll discard the junk again, all 40 of them in real time. Quite a bit of junk parts, blah, blah, blah. Submachine gun. He goes and does his little dance. His little modification dance here in the back. He brings us our new gun. So I thought, okay, we'll get our new gun. And this is the best submachine gun in the module, essentially, for raw damage. Also, notice the number of bullets that the weapon holds. It holds 201 bullets before you have to reload. The best kind of dance, yeah. Which is absurd, of course. So I got this 200. Yeah, that's like a belt-fed machine gun, like a full-size machine gun. To put that in a submachine gun, a little pistol-style gun is hilarious. But I figured, okay, we got, the 16,000 BP. We can throw that into this, right? That would get us, where does that put us? We throw this in here. That gets us up to 286, right? 286. And then we could steal the bonuses of 286 plus 130, the bonus off of this, and that gets us to 410 or whatever. A 416. I'm like, okay, perfect. That gets us the damage we need. for the 400 minimum damage. Now, they also recommend 200 defense on your armor. We're a little shy of that, right? But if I steal from other things and we get the bonuses from going up the tower, maybe we can get there. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then what I did is I'm like, well, we need to build the weapon to the way we want it to be, right? Like with the bonuses and stuff we need on it. So at that point, I go here. We have the gun unlocked, right? And then we have these other guns that have the things on them that we need to steal. So we got, there's the base gun. Then we've got three shots per turn. We've got burst, we've got poison, and we've got tranquilize. But we're missing 2 things. So I'm like, well, I gotta go get those. Now the easy one was go first. The go first thing, that was pretty easy to get because that's just at the warehouse, and I'll show you that later. The other thing we had to do was we had to go and get one of the guns that have the double action. The only way to do that is to finish the museum. So I went and finished the museum. I went through all of that and everything but the ending that locks you into day 6. I didn't do that part and walked away. Well, we'll be talking about that later too. So now I have all the parts that I need to make this gun good, right? Like to give it all the bonuses that we were missing in the form of the double action and the go first. So we have everything we need now. Great. But I was thinking to myself, and notice that we're at 17 hours, so we've put another like hour or whatever onto this. So I was thinking to myself, well, man, it sucks that we're barely gonna have enough BP. And I'm like, it's really weird that none of those combat encounters happened back at the Central Park Zoo, even though I know you can go grind that stuff. So I went back over there and I'm like, this is so weird. The second I ran into that first area inside the Central Park, the combat started. The three bats attacked me, and the 3 birds attacked me, and I was like, wait, I can grind this? Oh no, that's really bad because I'm at max level, so I can't get any more BP from here. And I've already collected all the junk I need, so I don't need to go back for anything. But the 16,000 BP isn't really enough. Like, it's barely enough. And I'm like, what? I don't have a way of going back unless I go all the way back to my level, like, 36 character. So I'd have to re-grind all the experience and all the junk. So how do you get more? I'll show you. So I came over here and I'm like, I think the only character I have is all the way back at the beginning at level... will you save in progress? Yeah. Is back at like level 36 or whatever when I was back in the museum. So I hadn't grinded all the levels. I thought it was this one. I still had most of the junk I had to collect with the 300 junk. And I'm like, oh man, that is going to be brutal. I can't go back that far. That's just too much time. Then I noticed I had this, a level 88 character. And I'm like, well, if I can go back to the zoo and grind out XP that way, even if it's only 4,000 XP per level, the zoo's not going to give me very much XP. So I can go grind BP there, and the birds there give me junk. So the rest of the junk I need, I can grind out there also. Luckily, thank God, I had this stagger save. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll do this. I'll roll it back. And again, we're at 1758 total right now, right? I'm like, all right, I'll roll this back and we can do that instead, and I'll go grind that out. Which is going to look like, let's see, where does this put us? So now we're here. We're level 89, right? And we're only needing like 4,000 XP to level up, which is fine. As you can see, we're still in the junk grind. We've got most of our inventory, our space and stuff back, which is fine. So we rolled it back. And I'm like, okay, this should technically work. This should technically work. We're actually kind of rolled back also on hours a little bit, but only by about 20 minutes. Not a big deal, right? So I'm like, we can start grinding it this way, right? That'll be fine. So then we come here. This is in the grind now. We're level 90. Between 89 and 90, we got 4,000 bonus points. Why is that? Because all the combat encounters here only give you 20 XP. Meaning that in order for me to grind from 89 to 90, loads more BP, right? But I had to do that at 20 XP a combat. And this is how I did it. So here you can see the birds, which is where we were doing the junk grind, right? And we had the monkey, which is, you know, just stuff. So we get the level up. As you can see, the next level is 4,000 away. But, hey, look at that. 4,000 bonus points. The Raven wannabes, yeah. Which is great. That's where we want to be. And there's the junk that I gathered to get the junk weapon again, which is great. It actually worked out. And literally what I did, and as you can see now, we're at 22 hours and 53 minutes. It's been 6 hours of me grinding to do this. And that's on the clock in the module. That's not like computer time or whatever. That is time I spent in the module grinding to do this, all right? And what I did is literally just run back and forth between this area right here where the combat starts on this second stair and the window we were just in here where the combat starts in line basically with that pillar. And that's what I did for 6 hours. At 20 XP a fight, 4,000 total XP required twice for 6 hours. Yeah. Yes. 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 Think about it. Yes. So that happened, right? I did that. Now, we haven't turned the junk in yet for this, but, all right. So then we had to go still get the weapon. I hope Raven Hillbrook Inc. pays you well. I'm a contractor, so I kind of get paid on, I wouldn't call it commission, but let's say that it's directly proportionate to my output, which is entertainment for the board members. So with like 6 subscribers, it's not the best right now. So we'll go here. We'll load state back to this. So we're here. Still 91. Like the 24,000 XP, right? Now we've unlocked the P90 because I've already shown you what we did to get the P90 before, so we know what that looks like. I'm not worried about that. So here's us with the weapons that we needed for the P90, right? For this, right? So we're missing 2 weapons. We're missing the PPK, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. We'll go get the PPK, and this was easy. This was the easy one to get, was the PPK. We came over here, and we just have to go to the warehouse. And it turns out, like, this is the easiest weapon to get because it's literally right at the front of the warehouse, essentially. So we come over here. We go to the warehouse. And I wanted to show this on stream to show you that this was the easy part, essentially. Come over here. Officer talks to us. Hi, doggo. Boom. So you see that one treasure box right there on the right? I love that he forgets his dog. And then when we go inside, he comes and gets his dog. Ellie, come on, we're getting out of here. So they run off. So you come over here and you get the PPK, and that'll give us our go first that we were missing. The other thing you have to do, and I did go through and eventually clear out this whole area, get the rocket launcher again, get all the bonuses and stuff out of there. It's all cleared up. Best cops. The cops in this are so fun. The cops in this are so much fun. But so we did all that. I cleared that all out. Not a big deal. So then, let's see, where does this put us? this is... Okay, I don't need this one. Okay. But yeah, so we did that. So then I had to go finish the museum to get the other gun, the one that has the double action on it, which is right here. Let me show you this. So this is the boss fight in the museum. Right? This is essentially the final boss fight against the giant mutated T-Rex. I wanted to show this because technically we already know what the museum looks like, but I wanted to show you what our current weapon, the toaster, looks like fighting the final boss of this museum at its current level. And what it looks like at like level 91 or 99 that we're actually at right now. I got the rest of those levels by going through the museum. So pay attention to, well, A, like how much time it's been. It's been another 50 minutes, so there's another hour. But our max HP is 869. Max space in our inventory is 46. Here you can see all the items I collected out of the museum. I didn't bother to go like use any of them or put them away or anything yet. But also pay attention to how fast our attack gauge is going up at this point. It's basically full by the time I get done shooting my two attacks. That's the final boss of the museum. That thing killed me, I think, once while we were playing through this the first time. As you can see, maxed out everything, right? Maxed out inventory space, or maxed out XP. I can't get any more. All done. So after you defeat this guy, something interesting happens, and I'm going to show you what happens. Something I realized playing through it this second time now, right? So we're max XP. We don't care about XP anymore. We're max level. We don't care about that anymore. But one of the interesting things I realized playing through this is there's a cutscene that triggers when we go to confront Eve at the top of the museum. I think I have to go through this way to get to it. All right. And essentially, it reveals a secret area that we missed on our first playthrough. I want to show you what that looks like because I think it's interesting. But so we came into this room, and I commented on this before, like, well, that's weird that there's all this empty space over here. But I can't get there. There's no entrance or door or anything. That's really odd. Did I do this one? I think I did. Yeah, I think I already did that one. So you come up here, and I've already defeated the Triceratops and done that, and that's what triggers the boss fight. Chocobo reference again, by the way, which is, I realize, might be an actually semi-accurate way to represent what dinosaurs look like, considering now that we're realizing the dinosaurs actually might have had feathers. Chocobos actually are a fairly accurate representation of dinosaurs. Think about that one for a second. That blew my mind. So we come up here, and we go over here, and we're going to confront Eve, right? Chickens? Kinda, yeah. We get this cutscene. Now watch what happens during this cutscene, and I didn't realize this actually did something. Watch this. So, rideable dinosaurs. Yeah, kinda. So, obviously, this area was open. We came in here and we got this stuff, the tool, and then this other gun with double action, which is great. But something else happens in this section I realized when I was playing through this, when I was grinding the first time up to level 99. Hello. I have no desire to fight you. Yeah, max everything out. Doesn't matter. But remember, there was that weird area that had all that big space. And when I got these guns last time, and I was planning on just using the guns and then going back, I left instead of going to confront Eve. And that's when I realized this, that cutscene actually is affecting the world. It's not just a generic cutscene. They actually do something with that cutscene in a secret way, which is actually really interesting. In this room, this is broken open now, and you can come inside of here and get 2 items. A vest, a very good vest, at least very good in the concept of the normal story, and you can get a super tool, which are very rare. So after we've done that, then we can go back. Now we have all the stuff we need to make the P90 the full weapon that it needs to be, right? We can add all the bonus points and all do all the stuff to it. Moral of the story, break everything. You might get good stuff for it. Exactly. That's like the life lesson of this whole channel is just break some stuff and see what happens. Good things will probably be in there. So we do that, right? We collect all those items, and then we're now basically ready to start applying all this stuff, right? Like, we have these bonuses and stuff, but that's not as much of a concern. But we have all the stuff to make this gun work now. So I can talk to him, and we have 2 things we kind of need to do. Yes, I know. So, besides the tools... Actually, can I do that from here? But besides the tools, we're also going to need to, like, open spaces. We can start applying the things to the gun, right? First, and we have everything we need in here to start adding bonuses and all that stuff. That's great. You get all that done. So, I'm not going to make you watch all of that, because that's going to be kind of boring. Because it's just me adding things. So we load this up here, and now we've applied all those weapons, all the bonuses, plus a bunch of other bonuses with tools and stuff to the P90. As you can see, the P90 now has everything on it, plus 1 extra space, which is great. Another reason the P90 is so powerful is that it has 7 attachment slots for stuff. So we actually have a free floating one that we could, in theory, add something else to. But I wanted to show you this because now we're going to apply the BP to it. I kind of didn't want to apply all the BP just to damage, though. So what I ended up doing was something along the lines of like this, where I went down. Remember, we have 25,000 to spend. So we got this up to... Wait, why is that? Oh, that's what I'm forgetting to do. Hold on. Let me do it this way. So we still have the toaster. And let me show you what this looks like. So let me equip this, right? Then we can use a tool, which I don't have apparently in my inventory for some reason right now. But we use a tool, and we can finally pull the bonuses off of this and put it onto the P90. And this, and that. And we pull all the bonuses that we've collected over the whole course of one playthrough and most of this other playthrough. Some BP and stuff, and we're going to throw this over onto the P90. And I used a super tool to do this so that we can keep... That would be permanent, I know. So we can keep the toaster, and just in case we need to pull one of the bonuses off of it or whatever. The P90 is about to become the Pay 9000, yeah. So now we got this bad boy up to 282 with just bonuses. Just fantastic. Actually, I guess I could do it from there. But now we can apply the BP and see where we end up. Which is 24,000 from 280 instead of like the 150. So now we can easily get the 400 cap on 500, 540 if we wanted to go all in on damage, right? And I ended up putting quite a bit. I think I went to like 460 on damage or something. Wanted to be well above the 400, and each point is pretty significant in this. So I did something like this. I threw some points into this, and I think I got this up to like 150 or something like that. I don't remember exactly the breakdown I ended up going with finally, but basically something like 150 on this to get a good like assault rifle range. And then I threw the rest of it into our armor, right? Boom, throw it in here. This will get us over the 200 recommended plus some. And now we've got the 200 defense, the 200 attack, and we had some extra to increase our range. Fantastic. This is exactly where we want to be based on what the book says. Also, we're at 24 hours into the module now. And remember, we were at like 12, I think, when I started the second grind. We were at 12, and that's not counting all the grinding in the first one that got it from like, I don't remember, from like 7 to 12. So, yeah. So then what I did is I'm like, okay, we've already seen floors 41 through 50. Holy cow! Holy cow, indeed. Oh, how's the audio on that? Was that lower? I turned them down a little bit. Because we were getting complaints that they're too loud. So this way, hopefully they're not blowing out eardrums and they're still audible. Sounded good? Okay, fantastic. So, being that we've seen 41 through 50, I'm like, well, there's no reason to show that. I wanted to show everything else, so we're gonna do the next thing. So, the next thing, we're gonna go here. Let's date this, and wham, we're here now. I have done all of the other things for another like 30 minutes or whatever. We're up here now. Let me see, what did we actually end up with for this? So what did I choose? Okay, a 440, a 440 plus a couple of bonuses, right? And then the cell wall is a 231, and our range is a 140. So about what like I said, we put it at. Here's basically all the stuff I collected, and it did change, if I remember correctly, from last week. Because I don't think I remember getting this. Second, we found a rocket launcher in here. I don't remember finding a rocket launcher last week. And we also found, I believe, 2 trading cards in here. Whereas last week, I think we only found 1. I think we only found the M29 card in here. I don't think we found the M73 card last time. So that means that there is some variance in the spawn rate or the spawn location of some of these items. Now, some of this other stuff I remember getting, like the SAR rifle, the SAR rifle, and I think we got both of these armors last time. The bonuses, I don't remember. I think I applied like 1 of offense up +1 or something. Without thinking about it. But in this time, on this fight, I brought more medicine 4s, a couple extra revives, plus the ones we found on the way up here, and a couple of like full heals. So we should be good, and we have the save state right before the boss fight. So we should be okay to try to push on and potentially today finish this module. Maybe. But I'm going to use these bonuses, and then we can continue on from here. And that, my friends, is the bonus grind to shine. I hope you liked my presentation of how much effort I've put in to try to make this for you all.